Good evening, everybody. Happy Friday. How's everyone doing? Happy to be here. I love these Friday nights now that we're doing lives on Friday. I know I'm in Bill's time slot. We got that worked out already for next week, so it's going to be 10 p.m. Next week, though, guys, I am going to be actually on Jason's stream, Mash and Drum. So he is going Wednesday, and we've got something planned for next week. So I'm really excited about it. I actually just got these sent out to him about 2 days ago. They should have came either today or tomorrow, depending on the weather. We've had terrible weather here in the Midwest, but a couple good things in here, and there put a couple blind things in here. I'm excited to have him try. So some stuff I like, and some stuff I don't really care for, and I want to see what he thinks about them. So I'm excited. Let's see who's in here tonight. Bill, yep, you're here. You're flying. Yep, I know. You guys had a great stream last night, you and Eric. I enjoyed it. I was up. I watched the whole thing. So it went about 2.5 hours, I think. But anyone who was there, it was some great stuff. The more they drank, the better it was. So DH Silv, good to see you, lab man. How's it going? I saw Ken in here earlier. Jason, as I just mentioned, was here. Christopher David, how you doing? I saw Brian in here earlier too. Hope you guys are all having a good night. Dan the man, how are you doing, Dan? Good to see you in here too. So I got a couple things planned. It's Wild Turkey night, so I'm going to be doing a couple different tastings of Wild Turkey. So if you guys watch me, Casey, how you doing? Good to see you, Casey. If you guys have seen some of my videos before, I am a big Wild Turkey guy. So Wild Turkey 101, probably one of my favorite budget bourbons. That is going to be in round 3 of my budget bourbons flight coming up. So round 2 is actually coming out tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to be doing a premiere on that. Great time filming that one. I loved round 2. It's got a lot better bourbons in it than round 1. So round 2, we've got Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare, Ezra Brooks 90, and Maker's Mark. So that was a better round than round 1. Had a lot of lower end stuff. So Jason, how you doing? Good to see you. Peter White, how are you? So thanks for being here, guys. What are you guys drinking tonight? Right now, I am actually breaking out the mini snifter, and I am drinking some Old Bardstown Bottled and Bond. It's good stuff. Good stuff. DH, so Quig pulls out an 8-hour stream. Yeah, Bill and Eric wasn't quite that long, but 8 hours might take a toll, man. Whew. Without chat, I don't know how we'd get through 8 hours, but... Alright, so tonight, plans. I'm going to start with the Wild Turkey 101, and then I got 2 store picks of the Russells. So these are both local store picks. They're both around the Grand Rapids, Michigan area. They're both really good. If you guys have had Russell's picks, you know most of them are good. I've had 3 or 4 different ones, and I haven't not liked any of them. So even the regular single barrel that's not a store pick is good too. So 1792 Foolproof Party Source. Yes. I'll tell you what, that I have a 1792 Foolproof that I have not opened yet, but the store I bought it from, of course it's the store I bought it from, but they're claiming it stands up to the George T. Stagg. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to that. Bill, if you're inclined using a Logitech webcam, may want to put on the right light setting. Okay, I'll look into that. Thank you. I don't know. I'm still learning about all this, guys, so I'm just learning as I go, but I'll look into that, Bill. Thanks. All right, so let me finish this up here. Old Bardstown Bottled and Bond. So I got this when I was down in Kentucky. I got 2 or 3 bottles because I did a whole bunch of research before I went, and you know, of course, get the Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond, get the Old Bardstown, any Willet product you can pick it up. So I came back with about $600-700 worth of Kentucky only or non-Michigan stuff at least, and it was good. It's good. In the Old Bardstown, I think it's about $20-25. It's good stuff. Let me know. I haven't reviewed any Willet products on my channel yet. I'm going to be doing it soon. I've got Johnny Drum, Old Bardstown, Noah's Mill, Rowan's Creek. I've got a couple different things. None of the higher end stuff, unfortunately, but I always get what I describe as a licorice note with Willet products. Do any of you get that same thing? I guess I describe it as almost like a cherry licorice. Let me know if you guys get that same thing. It's good. 20-25 bucks, you can't beat that. I did 2 or 3 streams ago for me, I did crack open the Wild Turkey Rare Breed, so I haven't had a drink out of it since then. So it's probably been about 3 weeks, and I'm really interested to see if the flavors are going to change at all. Actually, Labman, who's in the chat tonight, he actually has a bottle of Rare Breed that he tried again tonight. He was writing me earlier on Facebook, and he said it got a lot richer and the flavor got a lot better. So I'm interested to try that and see if the flavors do change at all. I'm a big Wild Turkey fan already, just with the 101 and the Russell's Reserve, so it's going to be good. Eric, thank you for stopping in. You guys did awesome last night. 2.5 hours, it was all gold. Eric, you were getting a little, a little loose at the end, but I'll tell you what, I like you a lot better that way. You should do that all the time. That's good. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. It is fantastic, lad, man. That's right. All right. Before I get into the 101, Eric and Bill on their stream last night were talking about the neat glass. Eric, you were in here 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I drank something out of this, whatever it was, and I was using the neat glass. You were wondering who you saw using. I think it was probably me you were thinking of, but that's all right. Mr. Bill, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, Dan, Wild Turkey, it's good stuff, I'll tell you. All right, so let's get into the 101 here. Oh, love that pop. All right, so I'll start with that. It looks, in my light, it actually looks pretty light. I mean, 101's not a low proof. Probably aged about 4 years on this, so. It's just good. I always get that fruity, what I describe as a sour note on Wild Turkey products. There's probably some better way to describe that, but I always describe it as a sour note. Light fruits. Actually, almost like a peach smell in this, actually, a little bit. The wood is there. For 101 proof, though, it really doesn't burn much on the nose. Now, this is still a neck pour, so I only got this bottle probably a couple weeks ago, because I had already finished a bottle when I wanted to do my budget bourbons video series, so. Smells good, though. I just think this has a classic bourbon flavor profile, I guess, which I love, so. All right, guys. Cheers. $26 locally it is for me, I think. It's really good. It's really good, and I've always said this is probably my favorite budget bourbon. It's what I always recommend to people if they ever ask me. But I think now, just remembering back to the Rare Breed and the Russells, it leaves a little something to be desired. I don't know if it's the oak I want, more oak, or just the finish. I mean, the finish is a little bit, just kind of tails off. It's not very long, which 101 proof, it should be a pretty long finish at least, so. I mean, it's good still. It's still really good. The thing I love about Wild Turkey, someone on one of the Facebook groups asked the other day, best budget bourbon, and I want to make cocktails too. And I immediately went to Wild Turkey 101 because it's a high rye mash bill. I think it's 26% rye. I can't remember exactly, but and that's great for cocktails. I mean, if you make Manhattans, Sazeracs, Old Fashions, Sometimes I'll use, you know, straight rye in that, but if you're looking for something that's a little sweeter, just use a high rye mash bill. And it's got the proof there, so when you add ice or water, it's great for it. So Wild Turkey 101 is really hard to beat. Eric, you're naturally a goofball. Yeah, that's all right. It works well for you, I'll tell you that. Good, Jason. Jason does say, Will, it definitely has a licorice and lemongrass. Okay, lemongrass. Next time I drink it, I'll have to keep an eye out for that. But licorice for sure. Every time for me, it's like a cherry candied licorice, but in a good way. In a good way. I actually really like it, so. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to set it aside. I'll pour some more later when we do a side-by-side. I do want to come back and do a side-by-side with the 101 in the rare breed later. A couple episodes ago, I did say that the Wild Turkey was pretty close to the rare breed. 2 to 1. I mean, 2 to 1 price-wise, pretty much. So, but I'm really curious to see if the price changed, or if the flavors changed at all in the rare breed today. So, Casey, Russell Cedar Rock pick behind you. Yes, it is good. The other one I have is actually a Binny's from Chicago. I got a buddy who lives in Chicago, and he picked it up for me. They're both really good. I haven't done them blind side by side, but just tasting side by side previously, I went with the Cedar Rock Riverside pick. So we'll see if that holds true today with what I like more. But let me get a drink of water here, guys. While I pour these next two, I'm going to pour both the Russells side by side. Rittenhouse is great. Rittenhouse is the best for cocktails, I think. Brian, sorry, I just saw that, guys, but yes. While I pour the two Russells here, let me know what is the proof of bourbon that you will add water to. So for me, it's 115. If it's below 115, I won't add water to it just to see if the flavors change. I mean, like Stag Junior, I love the flavor at 130 proof, but I will add water to it just to see if it changes anything. Let me know what you guys will. What's your cutoff number where you'll add water to see if the flavors change? All right, so sample number 1 is Cedar Rock and Riverside. That's this one here. So I'm going to start with that one. Can't really see the legs or the thickness on this. Not too much really sticking to the side of the glass here. Eric, thank you so much for sharing the live stream. I really appreciate that. Now I will say this still smells like a Wild Turkey product, but this has a different type of sweetness than the 101 did. Honestly, the 101 smells like it's a higher rye mash bill than what the single barrel does. Yeah, I'm getting more rye notes, pepper notes, more cinnamon in the 101 actually. Proof. No burn. No burn. This is 55%. Yeah, Dan, it does look a little darker for sure. I agree. Vito, is that you? How you doing? Welcome in. Loving what you're doing, Vito. Everyone go check out Cast Strength. He's doing some awesome stuff over there. Bourbon stuff too, so. Still all those fruity, sour notes, I would say. Smells like I'd describe this as more of a pear note. I said peach with the 101. Yeah, light fruits for sure. I'm still working on picking out individual fruit flavors. A lot of people, a lot of the whiskey tubers are really good at picking out individual fruit flavors. They'll call it a lemon, an orange. I'm not to that point yet, I don't think. I get green apple, I get, you know, pear, peach. So I'm getting better at it, but practice makes perfect, right, guys? Yeah, Russell's it just smells so good. You know, it's a single barrel, so it'll vary batch barrel to barrel, but man, it just smells so good. All right, guys, let's give it a sip. Cheers. More of a burn going down in this one. So the 55% is coming through more. I mean, it's not a huge difference between proof-wise. It's 110 compared to 101. So it's not a huge amount, but it does have more burn going down, for sure. Pretty much what's on the nose does go through to the palate. This definitely has a longer finish than the 101. Like I said, the 101 was really, at least today for me, was really short. This is definitely more of a medium. It's medium to long. It's still there, actually. It smells so good. If you guys like the fruitier, lighter notes that you'll find in bourbon versus the heavy stuff, Russell's is a great option for you. All right, let's set that aside. Move on to the other one here. Anyone else having sound problems? D-Psycho? Anyone else having issues with sound, or are we all good? DH, so there's a background ear to glass thing going on? Okay. I'm not going to try to adjust on the fly here, guys, unless it's unbearable. But I'll make sure it's fixed by next stream. Thanks for letting me know. All right, guys, this is number 2. The second Russell's Reserve. This is the Binny's pick. Yeah, I'd say this definitely has more of a classic bourbon nose, actually, than the previous one. So a lot more light fruit, classic wild turkey nose, I would say, in the previous Russells. This is more like the caramel, vanilla. More of a richness in this, actually. Which, for me, in general, I prefer the richer, you know, higher proof, fuller flavors myself. Yeah, Vito, it's hard to get picks. We had none around the Grand Rapids area until the last like 6 months. Then we got a whole bunch. So I don't know. That's just so weird. We got about 6 or 7 picks within like a 3-month period. So maybe they'll start showing up. Yeah, I say this has more of a rich flavor. Which previously when I did them side by side, I thought they were very similar. But that was a few months ago too, so maybe my nose has gotten a little better. All right, guys. Cheers. Yeah, I'd say this one going down too has a lot more rich, full flavored bourbon notes. It's really good. Right now, I think I'm honestly preferring this one, the Binny's pick now, which I was just saying previously I like the other one, but this is really good. That richness it has, it's almost creamy when you drink it. Yeah, it's creamy. Coats your whole mouth. Medium to long finish again. They're both really good. Both really good. Yeah, it's just a lot lighter. It is. It just smells a lot lighter and tastes a lot lighter. I think right now I'm preferring the Binny's pick. It's richer, better mouthfeel, lingers longer. I like it. Whiskey Dude, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's good. You know, trying them this time, if I was doing these completely blind, I don't think I would even know that they were both Russells. I would have guessed this is a completely different bourbon. You know, the other one tastes like what I picture a Russell's to be, that light, sour note. But this is just, it just tastes like a completely different beast now. It's good. Today, I'm giving it to the Binnies. Any of you else had the Binnies pick before? I saw, who was it? Peter said he just poured a Russell's Reserve pick from Supermarket Liquors and Wine. Really good. Okay. Any notes similar to what I'm picking up at all, Peter, or not? I mean, that classic wild turkey nose and taste. I know, Mr. Bill. That's the problem with store picks, because when they're gone, they're gone. You can't get another one. My local shop around here still has a couple of the, I'm not sure if they have the Russells now, but they've still got their Knob Creek, their Jefferson's Ocean, which I've reviewed both, I believe, on my channel. So they've got some good stuff going. The owner of my local place actually has a lounge attached to it. So if you're there, he'll go ahead and bring you over to the lounge and give you a free sample. Let you try it before you buy it, which is really nice. He's a great guy. It's really good. I think the price tag on this is $50 to $60 where we are, so it's pricey. I have only had store picks of this, so I'm not sure how this actual single barrel, just everyday single barrel, compares to it. But man, the store picks sure are good. I mean, they're both good. Don't get me wrong, they're both really good. But I think today I'm gonna go with the Binny's pick on this. It's good. I did do some hunting today, guys, locally. Was calling around to a whole bunch of my local places, and I heard that one place was getting George T. Stagg, Elmer T. Lee, and Stagg Jr. Got there were already people in line, so I missed out, but I was able to at least get one of these, which this is going to be the backup to my backup, but I'm okay with that. If you guys watched the stream last week, you know it was really Bill's fault, the Whiskey Dick. He made me finish a bottle. He told me to finish a bottle, but that was the one I picked. So didn't have much left, so I guess it was God telling me it was time to get a replacement for it. So I'm happy to have it either way. I'll tell you what, E.H. Taylor is good stuff. Even the small batch is really good, so glad to have another backup. All right. Now this is the one I'm really excited about. This is the rare breed. I want to see if this really changed flavor. Labman said it changed flavor for him, so I'm curious to see. All right. Let me put these back. I am going to pour a little bit of the 101 too, so I can do a side-by-side again with those. Okay. So back in. Chris, that's nice of you. I have a bottle that's about 3/4 of the way gone, and I have a batch 9 that's unopened, I believe. And the one today I think was actually a batch 11, which I think it was Jason at the Mash and Drum. I was watching his live stream, and they said that's whoever was talking in there said batch 11 is the best batch of the Stag Junior. So I really was wanting to try to find a batch 11 just to do a side by side with them. You have good distribution where you are, Chris. You see Stag Junior a lot or no? Allocated anything up in Michigan is just difficult. Everything goes through Detroit, so. Okay. Now, I don't know if this is just because he told me it opened up a lot more. Dan, I think that's the one I have. Which batch is that? I can't remember the batch I have open. I'll have to check. This nose is far better than the 101. Yeah. I think even the 3 weeks being open, I really think it opened up this nose. It's just so much more of a rich flavor now. A rich nose. The 101 smells like Sweet Tarts now, which is a good thing actually, or Smarties. It smells like Smarties now. Which I did actually pick up once the bottle got drank down a little bit last time too. I picked up that same nose with like a Smartie smell. But the rare breed now, yeah, it's just, it's just all around. It just smells like a good barrel proof. I mean, it's got the burn on the nostrils. Whiskey Dude, the George T. Stag is better. I've had both. I've never been able to get a bottle of the George T. Stag, but I've had two or three different samples from people. The George T. Stag just kind of... The Stag Junior is a little rougher on the edges, I think. But it just... The George T. Stag, the age really just brings it all together, I think. It rounds out all the flavors really well. I wish I was able to get a bottle and try the whole bottle as it progressed and aged a little as I was drinking it down, but... Batch 9, Dan? Yeah, that is the one I have. I think that's the one I have unopened, though. I'll have to look, and I'll have to crack into it. Yeah, the nose on this rare breed, though, it smells really good now, guys. Color-wise, it does look even darker than the Russells, I think. Let's give it a sip. It's still got burn, but man, the oak comes through. Oak comes through really nice. Coats the tongue. Sweetness up front, oak on back. And it's the right amount of oak. If you guys have seen me before, you know I don't like too much oak. This is a good amount. And this is good. I think the first pour really underwhelmed me. I was not a huge fan of that first pour out of the rare breed. But even that first sip right there is good. I do still get the candied nose. It's not as prevalent as the 101 though with that candy sweetness. Vito. Not a fan of the wood, that's right. That's right, don't you forget it. It's good. I think now it's got a long finish. Like I was saying about the George T. Stag, this is rounded off a lot better than the 101. It's just the proof is higher, which I think is better. For me, I prefer the higher proof. Just all the rich flavors you get with high proof comes through on this. Yeah, Lab Man, they were close. 3 weeks ago, they were close. I would have 3 weeks ago. I would have bought 2 101s to 1 rare breed. Today though, I'd take rare breed all day. People were saying some in their area were like $39 for the rare breed. I mean, that's crazy. For me, it's 47 or 48, I think. So a little more pricey, but still not bad for a barrel proof. That's a really good price. Yeah, it's really good. Now again, guys, this is 115, I believe, 116 proof. So I'm gonna add a little bit of water to this, just to see if the flavors change at all. Because, like I said, 115 is my cutoff, and I'm sorry I didn't see the answers, what people were saying for their proof, where it's their cutoff to add water. But I'm gonna add a couple drops of water here, just to see if it does change anything. That's 5 drops. Labman, yeah, you agree. So when you first try to sip out of both of them, the 101 and the rare breed, they were close. Yeah, I'm with you. Neck pours out of both. I mean, these are still both neck pours for me, but it's been 3 weeks. And it did change. It did change for sure. I'm with you. This is just normal tap water, whiskey dude. I'm no bourbon aficionado. I mean, I may pretend to be, but this is just tap water. It is not scorching hot though, or ice cold. So it's about room temperature, you know. So the nose actually, when adding water, is a lot closer to the 101. Still more candied sweetness, I would say. Candied sweetness on the 101. The oak does still come through more on the rare breed, even with water. Oak is still coming through more. I am not picking up as much of the citrus note that I did with the Russells. Even before the water, I mean, there wasn't as much citrus. It still had the sour wild turkey note that I always describe, but Eric, I love that wild turkey barrel head you have in your background. That's a really good idea. I'd love to do that. I'd love to put it above my bottles back there. I've seen a couple online, but I was like, $150, $200, like, and I could buy them next time I'm at Kentucky, doing some distillery tours or something. But Budhas, 101 fan here. Yep, 101 is just a great everyday bourbon. I mean, there's still nothing wrong with it. Like I said, guys, $26 for this. That's still an incredible price as a mixer and even sipper. I mean, you can sip it easily. So, yeah, still not too much fruit on this though. Whiskey dude, you're not a fan of the 101. Okay. So what's your go-to budget bourbon? Let me ask you that. Are you a rye guy at all? George, welcome in. Thanks for coming by. You know, I actually was going to be talking about, I was going to do a couple things about news today, but I went right into the drinking, so I can still talk about them a little bit later if we get time, but I was going to talk about the Wild Turkey Forgiven. So, George said he's drinking Boo Rye right now, which is a High West product that I have not opened. I got it like a year ago, too, and I just still haven't opened it, but I've heard great things about that. Wild Turkey Forgiven is actually similar. Let me switch here, and I'll pull up the info on the Wild Turkey. Let's see. Forgiven. So here it is. This is Wild Turkey Forgiven. So, story goes with this, that Wild Turkey was filling some bottles of just their Wild Turkey 4-year rye, and the vat never completely emptied. So when they went to add their bourbon barrels to it, there was a whole bunch of rye still left in there. Actually 22% rye, according to the story at least. So when they emptied it into the bottles, they had a new product they named Forgiven. So it's Forgiven because, you're forgiven. It turned out good. It was a good whiskey after all. But they used 78% 6-year Wild Turkey bourbon and 4-year Wild Turkey rye to make this product. Now, this is no longer made by them. This was kind of I don't know if it was a one-time on and off or not very long in the market, but it's really weird. This week alone, I've had 3 different people talk to me about this product, so that's why I thought it was kind of fate for me to do a Wild Turkey episode and talk about this. So for the price, I don't know if it's popping up more randomly now or what, but $50 for Wild Turkey Forgiven seems like a really good price. And I've heard it's not near as good as the Boo Rye. Any of you who have had the Wild Turkey Forgiven, let me know how it is. I've heard it's not as good as the Boo Rye. The Boo Rye is better, but just curious. I had someone ask me today if they think they should pick up the Forgiven. There were 2 bottles available, I think $45 or something. And I was like, hey, you might as well buy them. And if you, the other bottle he could have bought was a Stag Junior, but it was $80. And I said, $80, don't do it. Don't do it. That is not Stag Junior to me is not worth $80. Forgiven was $45. I said you can get both bottles for nearly that price. Drink one and save one as a collector's item if you really like it. So, I just thought overall pretty cool product though. Pikesville Rye Whiskey Dude is the best ever. I still have not picked it up. Everybody has told me to get it. I'm going to have to now. I almost got one today, but I can't remember the price. I think it was like $70. It was overpriced, so I didn't want to get it today. But they say, if you like the Rittenhouse Rye, Pikesville is same whiskey, just older. Yeah, so with the water, I'd say the flavors have just mellowed out a little bit on the rare breed. It's still really good. I still get the burn on the tongue. But yeah, man, don't buy the Pikesville. It's terrible. Yeah, save more for me. I know. Flavors have mellowed, but it's still really good. I'll say this is still really good. Whiskey Dude, Rittenhouse Rye is crap compared to Pikesville. Yeah, and I like the Rittenhouse Rye. Rittenhouse Rye, I always tell people, that's the go-to mixer rye. Sazerac Rye, I will drink straight more often than Rittenhouse Rye. But a lot of people will drink the Rittenhouse Rye straight, too, and they really like it. I think around here it's about $28 for that. So that's a good price. It's double the price for the Pikesville, but I like the high proof too, so it's probably going to be better. Water or no water, guys, that rare breed, you got to get you're going to have to get one. That's good. And I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on the 101 compared to the rare breed. Would you rather have two 101s or would you rather have one rare breed? Because I've seen huge fans on both sides of the ball. People are hardcore 101 fans and some are all about the rare breed. I'm fine with both, but Dan Trout says the rare breed. Yeah. Today, I can't disagree. That proof alone, it's just much more well-rounded, I think. And like I said, most places it's $45 or cheaper, depending on where you are. For a barrel proof, that's crazy. Those are your only 2 options today, lad, man. Yep. 101's thinner. It's just thinner now. I mean, 101 proof. You say is thin, but it actually is. It's thin. Compared to the rare breed, it's thin. Still good. It's still good. Like I said, I'm getting more rye notes. Peppery, little clove actually in the 101. It tastes like. DH Silv, yeah, the mouthfeel on the 101. Yeah, it's thin. Drinking it by itself, like if it's your first drink of the day, the 101 proof alone will give you some mouthfeel. But when you've done higher proofs on all these than the 101, and you go back to the 101, it's just, it's not as good as I remember, I guess, you know. Dave, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in. Glad to have you. Cheers, brother. What are you drinking? Yeah. I'd say it tastes like it's a different mash bill. It really does. It tastes like it's more rye. But, George, Rare Breed is the only wild turkey you've had a sample. Low expectations, not much of a bourbon guy. Impressed. Okay. Yeah. So you're a Scotch guy more, George? I don't know. Rare Breed, it's good. It's still got the sweetness. I mean, it's still got that wild turkey sweetness. So if you're more of a Scotch guy, you might not like that bourbon sweetness that us bourbon guys like. But yeah. Yeah, I'm impressed, guys. I like them. Dan, don't drink all your biddies pick. Absolutely. I'll keep some of the Russells for you too if you want. I'm sorry. I'll keep some of the Riverside pick for you too if you want. I'll send you both. They're both good. Don't get me wrong, but I'll tell you that Binny's is good. Anyone has Wild Turkey Spirits? Wild Turkey Spirits? Are you talking the Kentucky Spirit? DH Self? Kentucky Spirit I tried one time when I was down in Kentucky, actually. I had a store pick from Haymarket Bar, I think it was there. And it was good. It was good. I had that in the Old Rip 10 that day, or at that bar, I should say. And they were both really good. Yeah, Kentucky Spirit's good. The price is $50 to $60, I think, here. And we don't have the store picks here. I haven't seen any, at least. But the store pick I had there was good. I can't remember too much about it, but it tasted like a wild turkey product, I'll say that. I can't even remember the proof, but it was good. That was a long day of bar hopping, doing the Urban Bourbon Trail. So if you guys ever get a chance to go to Kentucky, go to Louisville. There's so many things to do right down there. All you guys who are here, and girls, you must be bourbon fans and whiskey fans. So Urban Bourbon Trail and obviously the regular Bourbon Trail. Great stuff. Dave, you're normally a Scotch guy, but expanding your repertoire. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know if you've ventured into bourbon much at all yet, but check out Round 1's the very bottom of the barrel, in my opinion, for budget bourbons that I put out last week. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be doing Round 2, and you're going to have a lot better options for budget bourbons in that round. So that was my favorite one to film so far. I actually have not filmed Round 3 yet. But for Round 3, I am gonna bring in an Elijah Craig small batch. That wasn't included in my best budget bourbons, and it has to be. So I'm gonna do 5 samples in Round 3, and I think I'll bring forward two from that. So Eric, you're mostly an alcohol guy. Yeah, I get that. It's still good, guys. The 101's still good. Whiskey Dude, Ardbeg Corey Vecken. I know Eric's had that one. Just talked about it today a little bit. in his live episode, or his episode. Yeah, Vito's had it too. Yep, good stuff. Never had it. I've only had the Ardbeg 10, but after watching Eric's Ardbeg introduction today, yeah, I just want to go out and get a whole bunch of Ardbeg products. Really Scotch in general, but the peat, I really like the peat actually. The peat notes in Scotch, that's good. It's good stuff. And if Ardbeg 10 is like their base product, I mean, it's only going to go up from there probably. So I'm excited to try some other Scotches. I think I'm going to start venturing into Scotch a little more. Highland as well, Dave. Yeah, I've heard Highlands has some good Scotches too. So Scotch is such a wide, I mean, it's way, in my opinion, it's way wider than bourbon. There are so many different Scotches out there. It's like, where do you start? I mean, this is why you have a whiskey community that you can go to and ask. You know, I actually decided on Ardbeg 10 because I was part of the whiskey tribe, you know, with the Whiskey Vault on Facebook, and they always have the Lafroig and Ardbeg wars. You know, who's better, what's better. So I went with Ardbeg 10, and it's really good. It's really good stuff. I like the peat for sure. Peter White, Longrow 18 is an amazing peated Scotch. Okay. Is that available, readily available at all, or no? DH Silv, hopefully the secondary cask finishing happening in bourbon will eventually expand to bourbon. Do you mean the secondary cask finishing happening in Scotch will expand to bourbon? And yes, that is another thing I was going to talk to you guys about today too. So good segue is the, let's see if I can switch over here. Angel's Envy Sherry Cask Finish. So this was just announced today, at least that I saw it. Angel's Envy is going to be put out a sherry cask finish bourbon. So only 3,600 bottles of this, but the standard bourbon is going to be aged 4 to 9 years, and then they're going to finish it for an additional 2 to 3 years in Oloroso sherry casks. So pretty cool. DHL, that is what you're talking about. Okay, no, a lot of bourbons are already finished in wine casks. Yep. Yeah. But yeah, I thought this was pretty cool by Angel's Envy. You know, I've had Angel's Envy one time. I never bought a bottle. It was super, super smooth and creamy to me. Almost too much. I think that was just the finish, you know, the port finish in the standard product. But, so for me, I wasn't a huge fan. I've heard great things about the rum finished rye, and Labman has actually been talking to me about that rye too. It's $90 for him locally, and that's probably about the same. Ours is over 100 here, I think, and that one, a lot of people really like that. They say it has a good sweetness from those rum casks. So let me know what you guys think of that Angel's Envy rye. But as far as this one goes, I mean, $200, and from what I read earlier today, it's only going to be kind of a Kentucky only release. So at the distillery and just local to Kentucky. So I don't even think it's going to get distributed throughout the rest of the U.S., but pretty interesting. Interesting that they're moving away from the port, at least for this release, and going to try a sherry cask. So we'll see if that changes over any of the different flavors at all. Yeah, Whiskey Dude, I'm kind of with you. You know, the distillery was really nice when we were there in Kentucky. But it's the price. It's just overpriced to me. It's overpriced, and the proof was low. But maybe the rum finished rye is good. I haven't had it, but yeah. Mr. Bill, do you get a $140 wood box? Yeah. That's the question. Now, that is the one I have heard is good, is the Angel's Envy cask strength. Never tried that. At the distillery, the only thing they let us try was the normal Angel's Envy. I was like, man, paid the money to do the tour, and then it's only one sample at the end. But, you know, it was like I said, it was okay. It's not something I would go seek out and buy a bottle for myself, so. DH Self, get Angel's Envy rye to impress someone who hates whiskey. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Christopher David, Angel's Envy hate in the chat is strong. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it by any means. It's just not my favorite, not my go-to. Are you a Angel's Envy guy? Do you like the Angel's Envy? Peter White, it's more like rye liqueur. Yeah. That's what I've heard. I mean, I would feel bad mixing that ever. I'd have to drink it straight, you know? And if it's like rye liqueur, that'd be so sweet, I think. I don't know that I'd be a big fan of that. Not a fan myself, I don't think. You do like it, Christopher David. So are you talking the base Angel's Envy? Or have you had the rye as well? Yeah, I've heard that same thing. Eric. It's all sourced. And there's nothing wrong with sourced whiskey, in my opinion. It's all, I mean, if it's good, it's good. If it's good whiskey, it's good. But, you know, I like that High West now is starting to make some of their own product. The most recent Midwinter's Night Dram is some of their own whiskey. So some of it's still sourced, but some of it is their own whiskey. I have a bottle of the 6.6, Act 16 6. Haven't broken it out yet. I'll be doing a uncorking of that soon for you guys. But I've heard their own stuff is... I've heard mixed reviews, I guess. I've heard some people say it's pretty good and other people say it's, you know. So MGP is doing some good... I mean, they have some good stuff, so... Dan, yeah, you know, if I had a bottle of Forgiven, I would just crack the Boo Rye right now and do a side-by-side. I definitely would. I'll tell you right now. The Boo Rye, though, I am gonna be uncorking soon. Like I said, I've had it for like a year. I overpaid for it. It was when I first was getting huge into bourbon and found one, and it was, I can't remember the price, but it was too much. But I got it, and I'm looking forward to it because I've heard it's really good stuff. See you in a little bit, Ken. Whiskey, do you like the High West Rendezvous? Yeah, I've heard good things. You know, I don't know how I feel about the Yippee-Ki-Yay, though. I'll tell you. I mean, the way they finish that, I don't know if that's... A lot of people love it, but I don't know that I would like that. The way they finish that in those barrels. But, you know, to each their own, I guess. And it's expensive, too. So I would definitely... That'd be a bourbon or a whiskey where I would try a pour first before I ever went and got a bottle of that. Eric... If they have quality casks and blends, age it right, good whiskey, it's good whiskey, yeah. You had Angel's Envy early in your journey and liked it. Okay. Taste of change, yeah, absolutely. You know, and bottle to bottle, for me, taste change. You know, if I get a bottle I really like, it's like, oh, I didn't know that flavor profile existed. Like, I like that a lot more than what I had previously, so. Yeah. Daniel, the 302 Forgiven is good. I didn't even know they had different batches. So there were a whole bunch of different batches. How many years was that out? Just a couple years then? A couple different batches only? 303 was the intentional, yeah. Intentional blend, yeah. I mean, but so here's the thing, though, with the Forgiven. From what I was reading, it's like, well, was it actually an accident? That was the thing. It was the 302 Forgiven an accident, or did they kind of actually do it on purpose? I mean, the story goes... You know, what I told you guys earlier, but if you think about it, people are always, bourbon companies at least, and whiskey companies, I'm sure Scotch does the same thing. Just read the story on the back of the bottle. It's a whole long tale about where their product originated, and, you know, I mean, father of bourbon, it's like every single bourbon company is the father of bourbon, it seems like. So, you know, it's, who knows for sure, but either way, marketing, absolutely, Daniel, marketing. And to me, it's more about the whiskey. If the whiskey's good, I don't care. I don't care about the marketing. I don't care. I don't care who the father of bourbon is. As long as it's good, that's the important thing to me. So, George, Midwinter's Night Dram may be your favorite rye. Wow. Okay. You do like Yippee-Ki-Yay too, though. Okay. Yeah. Man, I'm going to have to get into that Midwinter's Night Dram soon then. I've just been holding off because I don't have a backup bottle. I like to have a backup bottle before I break into a fresh bottle, but you can't live your life that way, you know? You just can't. You can't. Now that I have the channel going too, I like opening a new bottle for you guys, either on live stream or during the reviews. So it's more fun that way. I like seeing what you guys think of the bottles, you know, when you write back to me, or during the review, you know, comments on the video. So I appreciate all you guys being in here tonight too. I'm having a great time sharing my love for Wild Turkey products. I'm going to go back into the Russell's Reserve I got here. Now this is the Riverside again, and this is the Binny's in my other hand here. Yeah, it just seems like a lot more sweetness in this. Yeah, Jason, High West makes good stuff. I know. I haven't reviewed anything on High West yet, and I've got 2 or 3 bottles, I think, so I've got to get to it too. Mr. Bill, I can't afford to have a backup of every bottle either, and I don't. I don't have a backup of every bottle. My problem is that I get a bottle, I'm so excited to open it. More before I got the channel. Now I like doing it for you guys, like I said, but I would get a bottle and I want to open it right away and try it, and then I'd want to wait like 3-4 weeks to see if the flavors change. You know, I really like to do that. And then I may go 3-4 months without coming back to it, you know? So, but yeah, I love going and finding new bottles and trying. I mean, each whiskey tastes different. That's what I really like about it. Each whiskey's different. Even, you know, the store picks, like these Russells, they're completely different. Yeah, that's good too, though. I think, correct me if I'm wrong on this, guys, but I think in general, the longer I have a bottle open, some of the sweetness kind of fades to me. So I get more of a sweetness typically, I mean, in general, you know, with bottles in the beginning, like in the neck pours, first half of the bottle, really. But as I get further down, like my Binny's pick here is further down than my my Riverside pick. And I'm not getting as much sweetness as I did on the Riverside. So Ryan, was that you who asked me the question in on one of my videos? Someone asked me a question on one of the videos, how the Russells compares to the Rare Breed. And I couldn't remember who it was. If that was you, thank you for stopping in and asking that question. I'll tell you what, tonight the Russells is the Rare Breed is better. Tonight the Rare Breed was better. If you asked me 3 weeks ago when I had the Rare Breed, Russells all day. I started my stream 3 weeks ago with the Russells, and I think that was better than the Rare Breed. It was my first pour out of the Rare Breed though, but today the Rare Breed's better, and I'll tell you what, it's probably $10-15 cheaper too. Higher proof, $10 or $15 cheaper. But it's so subjective. It's so subjective. You may like a store pick Russells better. You brought the Rare Breed tonight. Have you cracked it yet? That's the question. And if not, I think you know what time it is. But if you do crack it tonight, you may get the same. I guess, like I said, I didn't like it as much as I do now. Give it 3 weeks after that first pour. Come back to it. It's going to be good. And what do you think, Ryan? You did crack it. And do you like it? Nothing like peer pressure. That's right, lad man. Last week I learned that the hard way. I filled a Tribeca glass half up with Colonel E.H. Taylor small batch, and Rest of the night was history. It was good though. Yeah. If it's not a backup, it must be open. Yeah. I know we're pushing the hour mark here, guys. I'm having a great time. I always try to cut it off around an hour, but I always get drinking and I love it, and I keep going. So I love interacting with you guys. Riverside is fantastic. Yeah. Yes, I know, Ryan. You're right. You're right. I can't argue with you there. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is so good. So good. You're right. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof and Booker's. Mr. Bill Booker's. I heard Booker's is going up to $100 though. At $100, it's going to be a lot tougher for me to get it. Booker's are some of my favorite bourbons, though. Welcome back, Ken. Good to see you. Jason, are you going on after this? I'm really hoping you are. Impromptu. I know we don't have the whole whiskey marathon going, but... Ryan, if you can get a Russell's Reserve too, though, just do it. Just do it, trust me. You're not gonna regret it. I promise. I promise. They're both good. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, I would say, you know, again, I haven't done a blind, but I would put it ahead of the rare breed still. But most Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs are higher proof than the rare breed is, though, and I like the higher proof, so it doesn't surprise me. But Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, I get so many rich flavors, just dark fruits, wood notes, heavy wood notes. I love that. The richness. Murray Hill Reserve. Have not had that. Sounds good though. Blend of 18, 12, and 10-year bourbons. Ryan. Yeah, did you have the option for a store pick or just the regular single barrel? Let me ask you that. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have both. They're both good. You'll drink them both, I promise. Yeah. I'll tell you, the Russell stuff is good. It's really good. That's nice, Mr. Bill. Ohio does sell nearly everything at MSRP. Yeah. Yeah, Ryan, like I said earlier, I haven't had just the regular single barrel. I mean, if you think about it logically, everyone goes in and picks the best barrels, you know, the best barrels, but they've got to have thousands and thousands of barrels to be putting out the volume they do. So there's got to be some winners in those single barrels, even just the regular shelf picks. So I think it's... I can't speak to it myself, I guess. Other people in the chat probably can, but I think you're still going to enjoy it. If you like the rare breed, you're probably going to like it. So, GH Silv, yeah, in Ohio you can't get anything. I feel the same in Michigan too. It's just so tough. Jason. Ohio's good for prices, but everything's 3 months later. Yeah. If it shows up at all. Yep. For sure. DH Silv, yes, but I had to hunt my ass off to find that. I was trying to get the Stag. The Stag Juniors I bought secondary. E.H. Taylor, I got one at the distillery. I can't remember where I got my other one, but this one I had to hunt hard to find. And the two people in front of me took the last two Elmer T. Lees. I have not had an Elmer T. Lee. I've had a sample one time. It was good. It was really good, but man, I've been trying to find a bottle everywhere and I just can't do it. Been to a couple lotteries even, and they were all same thing. They were gone. Like the person before me took the last one. Everyone talks about Elmer T. Lee like it's great. So the sample I had was good. I'm not gonna pay $120 secondary for it though. No way. No way. If I get it at retail, 50-ish, sure. 120? No, that's not happening. No way. Labman, me and you both. I asked about 4 reps I saw this week about both the Wild Turkey 101 rye and the Old Forester rye. Old Forester rye is getting distributed this month, I heard, so it should be coming if Michigan gets some. And the 101 rye, the people I talk to, they're like, oh, we sell like 1 or 2 bottles all year. I'm like, what? I would have bought 1 or 2 bottles or more of the 101 rye myself. Like, there's no way. But I've been looking for both those. I know Ernie, Bourbon Ern, he posted a picture a couple weeks ago of the 101 rye at Binny's, so it's out there, I guess. None here in Michigan that I've seen, though. So really, Labman, they do have the 101 rye? None here yet, so I mean, I've heard really good things, so especially if you're a cocktail guy too, which you are. I mean, that's probably going to be good for you. Use it in cocktails or drink it straight. Ryan, you did see it in Muskegon. Okay, good. That's good to know it's at least in Michigan and not just Detroit area, so that's good. Even my non-Meyer, like my normal liquor stores I go into, they said nothing yet, so I'll keep an eye out. Thanks for the info, Ryan. I appreciate that. They do know about the Old Forester rye, though, Labman, so it is coming by the end of the month. Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, and if you guys saw, Fred Minnick on Instagram put out there that the Old Forester rye was really good, so that alone is going to make the demand just shoot up. So if you can find a bottle of that, guys, I guess that's going to be a fun one to review. I hope to get my hands on one. All right, guys, I'm wrapping up here. Stay tuned. Next week, I think Wednesday, Jason and I are going to be doing a live stream together. Jason over at the Mash and Drum. We are going to be doing a couple Blantons. So I'm going to be doing Jason sending me a Blanton's straight from the barrel. Really excited about that. And I sent back this bottle here, which is a Blanton's single barrel store pick. I do not have the Blanton's Gold or straight from the barrel, unfortunately. But sorry if you can't see that, guys. But I have not tried this yet, Jason. I am waiting for you and I to drink it together. So your pour is the first pour out of it, and I'm really looking forward to getting into it. I can't wait to do that. So next week's going to be awesome. I sent him a couple blind things too that I want him to try just to see how he does with it. So see if he likes it or not. But I appreciate you all coming tonight. I hope you had a good time. Happy Friday. Hope you guys have the weekend off. I am at work tomorrow, but thanks for hanging out. Thanks for drinking with me. It was an awesome time, guys. Let me know if you guys have any ideas for videos, new series like the budget thing I'm doing tomorrow night, things you'd like to see. Let me know. I'm definitely about doing it. You can send me a personal message on Instagram or just a comment on one of my videos. That's fine. But I love doing these live streams with you guys, and I love doing the reviews too. So thanks so much for hanging out, guys. I will see you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Best Budget Bourbons, round 2. This is a good one. I'm telling you, this is much better than the first round. So hang in there, guys. I'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, all right? You guys have a good night, all right?